What is happening, y'all? I know you guys are probably wondering, who am I? When did I subscribe to him? Who is this guy? Anyway, if you don't remember, I had the RSX, the blue RSX with the bash bar, white wheels, painted it myself, didn't like it, the car sat, and yeah, so long story short, I don't have the car anymore. I sold the RSX. I had to. I did not have a choice. The original house we used to live at, the landlord wanted it back because we had been renting it for like 8 years. Landlord wanted it back, and you know, we didn't have a choice. It is what it is. But luckily for us, we were blessed to have another beautiful home. Garage is disconnected from the house, which is pretty cool. And this is our backyard. Yeah, man, it feels good to be back. I'm finally able to start recording again. I still don't know the frequency, like how frequent I'll be able to drop videos, because I got a new job. I went from working 4 days working, 3 days off, to quitting that job and getting another job where I'm working 6 days, 1 day off. So for example, today's Saturday, I worked. This was my Friday. I have tomorrow off, and then I'm back to work on Monday. Honestly, I'm way happier at this job. The other job I was at was miserable. Literally hated waking up. I would go to work angry, and it's just not in a good mood. And you know, when you get to that point, it's just like you gotta go. You gotta do what's best for yourself, and you gotta leave. But anyway, sorry for the long talking. It's been a few months, and I gotta give you guys an update. But yeah, let's get this started. The last time you guys seen it, it was lowered, had a carbon fiber hood, wheels, spoiler extension, yada yada yada. I was like 100% sure that I was gonna trade in the Civic. I wanted, dude, for the life of me, I wanted a Mustang so freaking bad. I'm bagging the Civic today. It's been stocked for 2.5 months. It's used. I got it for $1,400, bro. The whole setup I got for $1,400. Everything with it included. These are the rear bags, air tank, compressor, manifold, and then the struts are in the box. The only thing is, the airlines, he cut his airlines, so I might not have enough to run everything into the manifold, but I'm gonna check it out. So I'm gonna pull the Civic here in the driveway and start getting to work on it. But I know it's really different. The scenery is entirely different. You know, I used to live in a small neighborhood, and now we're out in the country. Alright, I got the car on jacks. All 4 wheels are off. Right now, I'm unraveling the wiring harness so I can figure out where everything's gonna go. I already know where everything is gonna go. And I have the air tank and compressor back here. This is how it came. It came screwed onto the board. So I just threw it in there to kind of get an idea of the layout. And I have some airlines running through already. I'm taking off these panels right here so I could run the airlines and the wiring harness through. Excuse the mess. I work in a really dusty place, and this is how the car is right now. Really dirty. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start running this wiring harness through to get where everything needs to be. So for the people watching that's trying to bag their FG4 coupe or Civic coupe, so I have the tank right here. The previous owner of this car had already wired it for their subs, so I'm just gonna follow their wire, and it goes under the seat right here. He's got it under the seat, Going behind this panel. You can see I've already started taking it off. And it goes through under here. So this is my little contraption. I'm gonna push the wires through the firewall. Hopefully this works. This might be too thick. I'm gonna try it out anyway. All right, it worked, sorta. I wanted to go through with the wires. Instead, it just went underneath the little rubber instead. It didn't poke a hole, it literally just lifted it up and push it through, but you can see the daylight coming out the other side. So it worked. There it is right there. See the metal piece and that red wire? See, it just moved the whole rubber piece out, but it'll work. So update, I ended up taking off the intake box so I could get a better chance at grabbing it. It's right there, the metal piece sticking out. Run that wire through, maybe back here somewhere. Hook it up to here. It's funny, whenever I see bag install videos on these Civics, I always see them take off the entire cowl, and you don't have to do that, man. You could just take off these trim pieces right here. Look, this one goes right here, yada yada yada, and then this circle right here goes in there, and you have perfect access to the 3 nuts you gotta get to. You see? I don't know, just a tip, I guess. All right, the left bag is in. Got the airline hooked up. I'm not gonna leave it dangling like this. I'm gonna zip tie it somewhere. I was thinking of running this through there, but it didn't fit, and I don't want to make it fit because I just don't want that shit to break on me, even though it's braided, but still. One issue I did have, this end link right here, it seemed like it was too short to go into there. So what I did was I jacked it up from the sway bar. I jacked it up so it fit into there. And I know Airlift Performance sends you one. I don't know if it's longer or shorter. Like I said, this kit is used, but I jacked it up. I'm gonna see what that does. If it messes with something, I'll just buy a new one or a longer one. Hopefully it'll be fine though. All right, it's been a few hours. I'm not gonna lie, I ran into a really big issue. So on 9th gen, since we have separate like the whole strut assembly isn't one, so we have the bag. Okay, we have the bag that sits on there, and then the shock that sits on its own. Okay, that's stuck too. So when we put the bag in, there's supposed to be a stud that comes out right here, and we thread it onto here. So I don't know how he got that to work, considering when you put the bag on here, there's like a ginormous gap. I don't know if it's because it's bagged, because it's deflated or what, but I need to figure out what to do there, because if I don't, then we're messed up. So from the last clip you guys just seen, I was talking about a stud on the bag that I thought I needed. Turns out I don't need it at all. The bag just seated in position when I inflated it. We heard like a loud pop. So if you come over here, so I'm going to show you guys the bag and how it's seated in it and everything, and I'll show you that you don't need that stud, that the bag will just seat in position like it should. So you can see right there the bag seated correctly on the both upper and lower mount, so that stud wasn't really needed. And I got the airline zip tied, not zip tied, wired up using metal wire. Pretty janky, but it'll hold it. Right there. And I also got my girl as the camera girl. Stop playing. Go ahead, babe. all the way aired out right there. Oh yeah, and my car has no AC. So she got a napkin on her forehead. What do you think, baby?
I like it.
Yeah?
You know what it feels like?
Huh?
The sound, it's a roller coaster.
This sounds like nothing like a roller coaster. I don't know what roller coaster you've been on. That was the end of the video. I finally bagged the Civic. All I gotta get next is wheels, which I may have already got. So stay tuned for the next video.